my friends. It's a warm night tonight, and I'm at the campfire. And today I'm going to share a fireside episode where I'm going to just share some of my thoughts. And today's episode is called Going from Social to So-So Distancing and How to Protect Your Business. With COVID-19 testing just beginning to be readily available and a vaccine nowhere in sight, we will be heading back to work during a time frame when the states and the U.S. government are still creating and updating the work safety rules, responsibilities, and expectations of the business owner. Considering these rules appear to be changing almost daily, there is more potential liability risk than ever. Keeping your employees and customers safe will be a very high priority and more difficult and expensive over time. I believe, at first, the public will do their best to respect and adhere to the new social distancing rules. However, a false sense of security will grow for those who get back out in society and don't contract the virus. Social distancing will evolve into something less, something I call so-so distancing. Business owners will have to remain vigilant to protect their business, customers, and employees, which means every business will incur additional costs on both the top line as businesses adjust the workspace and customer flow to ensure proper social distancing, and the bottom line because of new recurring costs associated with the PPE, the personal protective equipment. To make matters worse, first quarter GDP for the United States decreased 4.8%, and considering the country was in quarantine for a good portion of the second quarter, we can comfortably say we are in a recession, so it's imperative that you consider every dollar as if it's your last. So past performance does not guarantee future results. In most years, past performance is a reasonable indicator of the business's future results. However, not this year. There is so much uncertainty about the future. Every business should be looking at their 2020 profit and loss statement in three pieces. Quarter one should be considered the pre-COVID quarter. Quarter two should be considered the quarantine quarter. And quarters 3 and 4 should be considered the Corona era quarters. Every quarter in 2020 is going to look different than the previous one, and historical data is going to be a poor indicator of what's to come. Forecasting your P&L on a monthly basis is critical. Say that again. Forecasting your P&L on a monthly basis is critical. Even if your business was considered essential and you did well during the quarantine, there's no guarantee that it will continue. With the help of your key employees and trusted advisors, you need to meet regularly. And I'm talking about at least bi-weekly, and forecast each of the next 6 months. A simple exercise like this will give you a more accurate projection of your bottom line, your cash flow, and offer clarity on the level of cuts or additions, if you're one of the lucky businesses, that are needed, especially when it comes to one of your most expensive investments, your employees. Many of my clients who followed this rolling 6-month P&L forecast approach were much quicker to lay off or furlough employees because forecasting the numbers gave greater clarity on what to do now. And having a team of executives to help make the decision balanced the emotional aspect of letting people go. Ironically, almost 100% of my clients who were forced to lay off during the quarantine became more efficient. They ended up with higher margins, and many actually made similar or more profit with less revenue compared to the previous year. And this didn't even include the payroll protection program, the PPP funds, that are now added on top of their efficiency. What many of these companies discovered was they were overstaffed and had employees who, for one reason or another, were not producing and shouldn't have been there in the first place. Now, 8 weeks later, many of the businesses that were fortunate to be the first to receive their PPP funds are now going to be the first to discover that they will have to lay off many of their employees again. Again, partly because we are in a recession and there is a lot of uncertainty out there. Unfortunately, every business owner who received PPP will be forced to make the same hard decisions. It will be easier to make if you are forecasting the rolling monthly P&L and involving your trusted team. And the reason why you're doing this is because opportunities abound. Most businesses were barely breaking even during the best of economic times, pre-COVID. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. Many businesses are going to fail during this recession. The businesses with the strongest balance sheets will survive. The businesses that are forecasting their future profit and cash flow are the ones with the greatest chance to survive. Become one of them today. Now I see that the marshmallows have come out and the family wants to get back to roasting those marshmallows and getting the s'mores going. So I'm going to let you go. I hope you have a great night, and I hope you've been enjoying a lot of the warm weather that we've been having. Everybody have a great night.